So a lot of my childhood life was filled with drugs and alcohol. I come from South Louisiana, and if you know anything about Louisiana, you know it's the second poorest state in the United States. There's a lot of illegal activity, and I, was raised in the deeper South. My grandpa made moonshine and homemade wine. He sold the pot that my uncle grew, and my mom was a drug addict. My dad was a meth cook, and I didn't really have a fighting chance. I used to sneak his wine when I was 7 or 8 years old, and cigarettes, I'd pick them up off the ground and smoke them. And so 11 years old, I was introduced to hard drugs. I met methamphetamine for the first time. Inside of our little world, our bubble, it was hell. It was a living hell. And in our home was mental, physical, verbal, emotional abuse all the time. And as I got older, it escalated. So by the time I was 12 years old, they started going through a divorce. My mom had moved us about 5 townhouses over to a drug house, and she was incoherent all the time. And I was, 12 years old, getting strung out. Right after that, I was sent back to my grandparents in Texas and got home and realized that my grandpa had cancer. He had just found out he had cancer. And so basically I was left to my own devices again. And I watched the only man that I ever loved in my whole entire life waste away and die. Because he'd say, if God wants to heal me, he'll heal me. If he wants to take me, he'll take me. And in my little 12-year-old mind, who would take the most amazing man off the face of the planet? And so if there is a God, he doesn't like me very much. And so it was easier to just assume that there wasn't one, because then he didn't have to be like everybody else in my life and not like me or not care about me. And so we fast forward till I was 18, and I am a full-fledged junkie. So by the time I'm 23, I am married into the Aryan Brotherhood of Texas. I'm running drugs for the Aryan Brotherhood of Texas through 3 different states, and I got arrested in Nacogdoches County. I made the news. I got bailed out. I was on the run from Nacogdoches County and was wanted by the Texas Rangers, the U.S. Marshals, and the FBI. And that went about 10 months, and I got tired of running. So I turned myself in, and I did some time, and I just was exhausted. It was completely exhausted. I was, and I was like, well, maybe I'll try, something different. And called, and I got Medicaid, and we started looking around for treatment centers. And she called me and told me about the Chrysalis Center. So I started calling, and there was kind of a mix-up between her talking to Miss Thelma and me talking to Miss Thelma. And we thought we were just supposed to show up. We had already got the assessment done. And we get here, and there was already a vehicle out there, and it was packed with tons of stuff. And Miss Thelma was looking at us like we were crazy. And she walked up to the car, and my caseworker, Miss Sweet, started talking to her. And Miss Thelma was like, no, there's a process. And I remember in that driveway out there, it had been a long time since I prayed. And I prayed, I said, if you'll just give me a chance. Because it had been so long since anybody had ever given me a chance, even myself included.
When Brandi came, and we were not expecting her, we figured out a way, because we knew she wouldn't come back if we turned her away. And I knew we had to make it happen. The Chrysalis Center, of course, is part of Circle Park, and we're a unique, very unique facility. We have 16 private rooms where women can come and bring their under-school age children. A lot of the women, when they come, they're pregnant. The women usually are good women. They've just gone on the wrong path. We get the opportunity to help them to gain a job one day, to help them gain just living again. They've lost it. When they come in, they're just totally broken, like Brandi was. And she was a fighter. Brandi was a true fighter. And she just needed someone to give her a chance.
Because I was willing to fight for myself, they were willing to go to whatever ends for me. Being here and being given responsibility and being trusted, I found a calling. So I am a peer navigator at MUSC Hospital, working in the ED. When anyone comes in with substance or alcohol abuse issues of any kind, we get flagged and we go in and we basically meet them where they're at their lowest point, and we talk to them and we try to get them services, either with Circle Park or otherwise. Very proud of myself.
She drove up in her pretty, brand new car.
Yes, and you know, and I really just wanted y'all to know that, like, every once in a while there is one of us.
Yes.
That makes all the rest of it worth doing. Right? There's nothing that the world loves more than an underdog, somebody who wasn't supposed to make it, who was not supposed to come out on the winning end, fight through adversity and everything that was supposed to kill them and make something of themselves.
It's when you see a before picture and an after picture, that's your reward every day. We could not make it if it were not for our community partners.
Exactly.
We could not do it without United Way. They are vital to Chrysalis being open today. They coordinate everything with all the nonprofits in the community. We're not the only ones. We're not the only organization that the United Way helps. People today don't realize that it does matter to donate and to help. And so please don't stop donating. Please help us. Please help us to help these ladies to be leaders.